Hi, guys. Welcome back to Elevate Your Life and Business. My name is Marie, and on this channel, I share tips and tricks and life experiences that I have gone through to try and make your life just a little bit easier, and hopefully, that you get to take something away from these videos. We're going to jump into the topic today. Today, the topic is the true power of money, which sounds kind of rhetorical, doesn't it? Every day, like you're spending money in one way or fashion, whether it's in rent, a mortgage, going to the local Starbucks. You think that I'd be joking. You think that, like, she's having a video about the power of money. There was a time in my journey when I had to think things through just a little bit more. And I'm wondering if maybe you do too. So let's get into it, shall we? The power of money. The video that you never thought you needed, but you totally do. Because I sure did. Because, like, we just spend it every day, right? We're going through the motions, we're living our lives. Like, you don't even really think about it. Like, it's always been something that's been in your life. Whether you've had money or not have money, whether your parents had it or didn't have it, like, you've always been around money. It's always been there in some capacity, whether the lack of or the abundance of. Money's always been there in some degree or another. And the reason why I'm doing this whole video is because I think we take it for granted sometimes, right? That the money is just always going to be there or always has been there, or that here's the point that I'm trying to make, that that money has given you the life that you have, whether you have lack of or abundance of. Money has given you that, and that way, if you're in a lack of money, you hate money. Like, it's not, there's never enough. Like, you're always struggling, you're always broke. And if you're in an abundance of money, you take that for granted too, because it's always been there. You always can go out and get your purses or whatever else. Like, it's always been there for you. And so I wanted to do this video because I think we take money for granted. And money is a really big deal, in case you haven't been paying attention to the world around you. Well, money makes the world go round, and it is absolute truth that it does. From the days of bargaining and gatherers and hunters to what society is today, money is the new altar at which everyone seems to come to. It just Money is even an integral part of yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean that the back of your mind, which there's always hierarchies, right? And this is where I'm pulling from Jordan Peterson and through some other social psychologists and some other backgrounds in that nature. So just to be upfront on where I'm pulling this from, is that there is a part of your brain that will tell you where you are at in the pecking order in a group of people. That can be whether it's your family, that can be your classmates, that can be your coworkers. Whatever environment you walk into, there's a part of your brain that will tell you where you are on that social dominance hierarchy. And money is a really good indicator of that. Now, not always. There's exceptions. On everything on this channel, there's always sometimes an exception, or to some degree. So take it for what it is. If this resonates with you, if this makes sense to you, just follow me along for a minute. Okay, let's go on this journey for a minute. Because I was like, well, why am I slaving away at this 9 to 5 job for someone else? Like, what is money? Like, I'm a person, like, my favorite question nowadays is why? Why am I doing this? Well, because I need money. Well, why do I need money? Well, let's answer that question in this video, shall we? Why do you want money? What is the power of money? So, the first thing, how about your life? The power of money in affecting your actual life. What do I mean by that? Your health. Well, what do you mean by that, Marie? Well, what I mean is that, would you not agree that if you had, let's just say, for instance, you have, like 10 zeros in the bank account, like you have a massive bank account, okay? Don't you agree that you can get organic, or maybe get a really, really high powered water filtration system? Or if you're overweight and you want to lose weight and you've got all those zeros in the bank, couldn't you hire a personal trainer, a personal chef? Couldn't you have things that are done for you that are significantly better quality and better quantity that can absolutely revolutionize your life? And the fact is, and go ahead, argue with me in the comments if you want to, would you not also agree that if you have access to organic foods and really pure water systems and great proportions and chefs and better doctors, how about that one? Because you don't have health insurance, so you can go to the private. Hell, if you have that kind of money in your bank account, you could probably hire a private doctor who comes to you, that's at your beck and call. You can go to the top specialists in the world. You can fly to wherever it is you need to go to see the top specialist in that field, versus someone that doesn't have money and is a lack of money, where you're stuck at your local doctor who may or may not be the top of the field, or maybe he's the doctor that graduated with a D that you'll never know, because a doctor is a doctor whether they graduate with a D or an A with honors. Money opens the door to better health significantly. This is also why, and this is just a theory of mine, but I also think that if you're living longer, you have more ability to accumulate more wealth and pass that on to other generations too. So, something to think about. So, here's the other thing: money attracts money. Have you ever heard the saying, you have to have money to make money? Like, this is something that I'm dealing with right now when it comes to my agency and that sort of thing. I'll get into that later. But here's the point that I'm trying to make. When money, and it comes to finances, if you have money, you can deploy that money. You can send that money out to go make more of itself through your connections and through other vehicles that are available to you. Where if you're just barely making it and you're in a lack of money, chances are is you probably just have just enough to pay the bills. You don't have like a massive reserve. And if you do have a reserve of capital sitting in either a savings account, or if you're smart and it's invested correctly and smartly, you're still limited on what you can do. There's only so much of it. And not only that, but compared to someone that has massive amount of income coming in, you are a higher risk. If you are in lack of money, if let's just say you have only, let's say like 200,000, you have 200,000 in the bank, okay? Are you going to go take a risky adventure versus someone that has $1 million in the bank? It's the same opportunity. Let's just say this opportunity is like a $50,000 whatever. It's a $50,000 whatever. You have $200,000 in the bank. The other person has $1 million. Who do you think is going to be more likely to take that risk? Is it going to be you with the 200,000? I mean, my God, that's 1/4 of your savings. Or is it going to be the person with the $1 million, where that's like, whee, it's just a little bit for them. Just a little bit for them. They do not have to spend much. And because, and let's go down this rabbit hole a little bit, because this person with $1 million in the bank account deployed this $50,000, guess what? They got smarter. They learned something from doing something with this money, and they can do it again and again and again. So not only are they accumulating wealth, they're more importantly accumulating knowledge. Knowledge that you, if you're barely making it and you're in a lack of money, will never have. So I just wanted to point that second thing out, that when it comes to money and the power of money, it actually affects the amount of money that you can get in the future. Because here's another thing too, is what about schooling? What about the ability to gain more information? What about generational wealth? Well, where does that come from? It comes from money. Why? And I'll be honest, I went to private school, what was it, from kindergarten to like 8th grade, and then I went into the public school system. So you're talking to someone, at least in this day and age and where it is right now, like I've actually been there and done it. I've had the private school experience and the public school experience. And I will tell you, hands down, if I ever have kids, like I want to do it right. I mean, this is also why I'm waiting for the right guy to come along. So let's just be honest. That's why I'm picky. I want the right guy so my kids can have what I haven't. And that all to be said is that when my eighth grade year, I did more work, more preparation for college in my 8th grade year than I did the 4 years in public school combined. I was working, seriously, like my freshman year in college was the equivalent to the work I was doing in 8th grade. My private school experience prepared me 1,000 times more than the public school ever did. Ever. And not only that, but in private school, you get the connections, because I grew up with going to, the lawyer's daughter's birthday or the this or the that. And the social skills that you get with that just by being around those people, just by growing up with those people, are priceless. So thank you, parents who, remember, they're toxic and I don't have much nice to say about them, but I will thank them for that. It really has helped. There's no question. So it does also affect the generational wealth and the future of your kids and yourself. So that's just the finances. But let's say you're single like me, or you're just single in general. What is the power of money when it comes to relationships? Well, if you haven't, if you've been noticing a tone here in this video, quite a bit. It matters quite a bit. Shocking, I know. Okay, well, how, Marie? Lay it on me. How in the world does money affect relationships? How about the quality of partner that you can find? Okay, so there's hierarchies. There's social hierarchies in this world. They exist. They've always existed, and they will continue to exist until the end of time. And where you are in that hierarchy, remember the back of the brain that tells you where you're at, which, by the way, just pause real quick, that you can affect that little thing in the back of your brain that says where you are in the hierarchy based off my posture video. So you can go and check that out if you want. But when it comes to relationships and money, like, here's the simple one. Like, if you are a woman, isn't it not more powerful to have your own money in your own bank account, so that if your guy, that your first date with this guy that you just met, who you really liked, but he's waffling on the bill, which, guys, don't do that. Okay, look, if you cannot pay for the bill, you shouldn't be dating. So get yourself, improve yourself, go do something with yourself that you can go and make more money so that you can pick up the bill. If he's waffling on that bill, my beautiful ladies, just pay that dang thing. Pay it. Hell, take care of his too while you're at it, and be like, have a good day, have a good life. Peace. Peace. If you can't pay that first bill, peace. The power of money. Same thing with guys when it comes to dating. Now, I will tell you, us females, like, it's always about the looks. So one good thing, if you want to consider it that, when it comes to being female and when it comes to money in the dating place, is that for us, from all the research and everything that I've been listening to for the last 3 or 4 years now, is that it doesn't really matter. When it comes to the opposite sex, money doesn't really matter to them as much. However, if you are a lady, you have millions and millions of years programmed into the very data, into the very DNA of your being, that you're looking for someone with resources. And let's just be honest, money is a resource. It's probably and arguably the most important resource you can have. And if you're a guy, and let's just say you're one of those young kings that I've been talking about, and you have $1 million in the bank and you're 21, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, the world would lay at your feet. If you are a male and you can accumulate actual wealth. I don't like rich, because rich is it's a if then was, it's a quick rich. Like, oh, I'm rich. Are you? Because I personally would rather be wealthy. Wealthy is long-term, generational, lasts a lot longer than just getting rich quick. When I hear of rich, I hear the get the rich quick. It doesn't last very long, because you can get rich really fast and you can lose it at a drop of a hat. So I prefer wealth. But let's just say that you are rich and you've got $1 million in the bank account, and you are a guy. Arguably and correctly, you will have your pick of females that want to be with you. Why? Resources, reproduction, kids, millions and millions and millions and millions of years of biology. You will get your pick. So guys, when it comes to dating, if you want the cheat code to getting ahead when it comes to picking the person that you want to be with, for sure, money helps. And while we're doing that, I'll be honest with my young guys as well. And that is, is that money can buy you, money will give you your pick of women for sure. And 85-90% of them are going to be looking at that money and not at you. I will tell you this though, that woman that's going to be by your side, that will be with you no matter what, who believes in you, who cheers you on, might be the other 10% who doesn't look at your money, who doesn't see the dollar signs in your bank account, but sees you for who you are. Keep an eye out for those women. They do exist. They're hard to come by. And my ladies, just because there's so many digits in the bank doesn't mean it's everything. Now, look, you've got millions and millions of years of biology and DNA and hardwiring from Mother Nature telling you otherwise, that all the zeros in his bank account is everything and anything that you want, that he can save you, that he can provide for you. Please keep in mind that it is just money. Is money important? Was that what this whole video is about? Yes, it is. But it's not everything. I guess a good saying to say here is that money cannot buy you happiness. But the whole point of this video, it can get you really darn close. It can get you really darn close. I also wanted to talk about one more point when it comes to the power of money. And I think it's best coming from me. I don't think anyone's ever really talked about this before. But when it comes to the ability to control your own life, true power is about being able to dance to your own tune, to do what you want to do, whether it's whether you want to work from home, whether you want to live in different parts of the country or different parts in the world. If you're someone if you're a night owl like me, like I am not a morning person. I am not. I try. I work hard on that, but all my ideas, all my creativity, all my energy, like you will see me pacing at night. I'm a night owl for sure, no question. So that all to be said is that finances, money, gives you the ability to customize your life to the way you want to live it. If you do not have money, if you are in a lack of money, chances are is that you are working for somebody else. And here's something that when I went down this rabbit hole and I started to think this out earlier on in my entrepreneurial journey, one of the scenarios that I thought of that I'm like, forget this, I'm over this. I'm way over this. One of those things is that what if, let's just play the what if game here for just a minute. What if your boss called you right now? And let's just say that you are in marketing, and let's just say that your boss calls you right now and says you have 24 hours to get into Las Vegas for this convention to do this marketing pitch or you're fired. What are the chances that you were going to go and do this stupid thing? Now, look, if your boss does that to you, it's a horrible boss and a really bad job, and get the heck out of there. Like plan your strategy and go. But even if you have, let's just say you've been working for the company for a while, and let's say you have like $200,000 or $300,000 in the bank or whatever it is, like you're still going to go to that convention, even though your boss just laid this on you, and you're going to go because you do not have the financial resources not to. Because if you walk from that job and say you are a piece of beep, 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 you are nuts, I'm not doing that. Are you nuts? Like you're giving me like 3 hours notice to hop on a plane to go do this thing? Like, are you crazy? You're still going to do it. Because if you don't have the financial resources, you're going to dance to this other person's tune. And money can be used to control people. And you're talking to someone that came from 2 toxic parents, not 1. 2 toxic parents, okay? One of their big levers, money. And if you're in an abusive relationship, you want to take a wild guess what that number 1 lever is that they're going to use to get you to do what they want you to do, to control you, to control where you can go and who you can see and what you can do. Take a wild guess. What asset? What asset do you think they're going to control? The money. Because you can literally control someone into doing what you want to do and having experienced that, unfortunately, in this life. I'm just going to lay it out there, and I'm just going to be truthful that money can be used to control you. Yes, love is sweet and love is kind. And that's why also this intertwines with the relationship section as well. Be very, very careful on who you choose. Because while it should be your money, especially if you're home raising the kids and doing things and he's out there conquering the world, my young kings especially, absolutely it should be your money together, because he can't do that if you're not home taking care of the kids, and he can't go out and make money if you're not home doing that. So yes, it should be your money. But at the end of the day, if he makes all the money and he cuts you off and divorces you, guess who's going to be able to get the bigger and better lawyer than you are? And when it comes to courts, depending on where you're at and what you're doing, or what the topic is, but depending what it is, there is law and then there is the practice of law. And in the practice of law, the higher paid lawyer, which is the more knowledgeable, more experienced lawyer, can kick your butt across that courtroom any day of the week. What does it come down to? Money. Money, 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 money. So what is the point of this video? The point is to open your eyes about the possibilities, about the life that you're living, and ask yourself, like, what effect is money having on my life? Am I completely, and this goes back to health, are you completely stressed the heck out because you have absolutely no savings account, you're up to debt to your eyeballs, and you are dang near about ready to have a heart attack because of money? Money can kill you if you let it. It can kill your soul. It can kill your bank account. It can kill you as a human being if you let it. Don't let it. Or do you have money? Have you gone out there and done something with yourself and you've got money in your bank account and you control it? It doesn't control you. And because you control it and it doesn't control you, you get to control your life. You get to break the 9 to 5. You get to go and be and do whatever it is you want to do. That is one of the reasons why I wanted to become an entrepreneur. Is when I started going down this journey, like everything popped up at once where I'm like, wow, the power of this thing. Like it was always there. It was always integrated. Yes, I spent money to get this or that, but like when you really boil it down on where you're at or where you're not at and what power money has, it's very significant. So I just wanted to take this video because we're at 22 minutes. So I wanted to take this video to open your eyes and to make you think just a little bit. If entrepreneurship is not for you, I completely understand. It is not for everybody. And I will tell you, I am very frustrated when it comes to my entrepreneur journey right now. It's like whenever I get like, I'm almost there. And it's like, back to the drawing board. And I'm almost there. And it's like back to the drawing board again. It's like, I'm realizing that when it comes to entrepreneurship, to really start getting traction, entrepreneurship or business is a game. Think of it as a video game. And like in order to actually even get returns, in order to get some money in your bank account, you have to solve like 20 levels first before you can even get through the door into the main game frame. Like setting everything up, figuring everything out, figuring out what the problem is, the right offer, the right contract, getting the website, getting everything set up and ready to go. I'm like ready to pull my hair out, quite frankly. But, there's a big but here. And this is why I'm not going to stop. Like, I don't care if I spend the rest of my freaking life figuring this out. I will figure this out come hell or high water. And I've already been through hell and I've been through high water a couple times. So I will survive this too. Gosh darn it. But here's why I need to do that. One of my big whys, and I think if you are looking to improve your life, if you're looking to have money in your life, you should figure out the why. Why do you want money in your life? Is it the health? Is it the finances? Is it a better relationship or a partner that's more supporting or better, higher up on the hierarchy than where you're at? Why do you want the money? And for me personally, I want to control my life. I want to have great health. I'd like to make it to at least about 85. I want to have a partner that can go out there and do this crazy this crazy goal, this crazy lifetime goal that I have, that I want to do to help other people and to help my friends and family and the people around me. I need a heck of a partner that is on board, that can go do this with me and go slay some dragons together. It's going to take money. It's going to take money. It is going to take money so that I can actually control my own life. Because right now, in a 9 to 5, I'm very good with my money. I will even share my practices on finances and how to squeak by, but I feel like I'm squeaking by. Like a house is way off in the distance, like a new car, way off in the distance. Like, and this is after a decade of 80-hour weeks, a decade of pushing myself to the breaking point, sacrificing left and right to this is all, this is it. This is it. Because if you don't have two incomes, you are at a disadvantage. I almost feel like I'm being punished for being single, and this is ridiculous. And I'm not going to be dancing to someone else's tune forever. I'm going to pave my own way. And one of the reasons why I reached that decision was because of this rabbit hole of thoughts that I just took you down. And if nothing else, if you're just, just an average person that, you don't want to do anything amazing, you don't want to have a business empire, you just want to live your life. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to you. We need more people like you that, will go out there and it can make things happen with what they have and be happy and be joyful in what they do. We need the teachers, we need the doctors, we need people in society to keep it moving. But I want you to be conscious. Just pay attention to what money does for you in your life so that you can control it and it does not control you. So just pay attention. Just pay attention to your life. And in order to pay attention, in order to make changes happen, you have to figure out what's around you first. All my previous videos are about internal work and about figuring out who you are. This one is about the exterior. This is one of the first stops on that journey into figuring out where you want to go and how you want to get there. And if you're okay, like I said, we need our teachers, we need our people in society to do their jobs. But if you want to go into the higher ups, if you want to go into the halls of power, if you want to be a force, if you want to have respect, gain respect, and be able to change someone's life in an instant, what if you came across one of these entrepreneur multimillionaires and they just gave you a $500, a $500 tip for the thing? Did they not just change your life to some degree? Because if you're a waitress and you're barely, chances are you're barely making it. Because been there, done that, did the waitressing thing. Oof, that was a tough job. That was a tough time during my life when I did that. $500 tip. Oh my God, that would have changed my world. I would have been like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Would that not change your world too? It's one thing to receive it. What if you could give it? What if you could help somebody? So I'm going to leave that here with you tonight is just think about how money affects you and think about how you're using it and how you're spending it. Make sure that you are using money, that money is not using you. And please link and subscribe if you found this video to be helpful. I've got a heck of a lot more where that's coming from, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace. See you guys next time. And please don't forget to elevate, okay? Things can change if you want them to.